Great. Okay, so let's make ourselves comfortable and get a little bit back away from our screens. And I'm gonna turn off my phone just so it doesn't beep or anything during the class. Oh, actually, Betsy's here as well. Okay. There is a waiting room, Ashlyn, and I can see it, so I'll let them in as they come. I'll pay attention to that. Okay, great. Got it. I'll leave that open, then the waiting room open, so I can see them. Perfect. So forgive me, please, if I get up to do some tapping on the screen to let other people in. Hi, Betsy. I think you're there now, so you're very welcome. Happy Monday morning. Great. So it's starting to snow here. I can see out my windows. Fingers crossed that gets a little bit heavier. Great. Oh. Linda, are you okay? You're okay. Okay. You don't need to unmute then if you're okay. You can cancel that. Sorry. Okay. So let's just begin by sitting comfortably with your feet flat on the floor if you can. If you can prop up your phone or your tablet or your screen so that your hands are free, and that way you can bring your hands onto your lap. There's Edmund now. And then think of two things if you can. So one, I want you to find a comfortable seat, but also that you feel that you're kind of preparing yourself, or you're getting yourself ready to begin, I guess, to do a bit of movement and to bring our attention more to our body so that we have a better sense then of how we're feeling and checking in with our body this morning. So welcome, Edmund. If you're there, if you can put your view on speaker view, and you'll be muted now, so I can't hear you. But that's okay. We'll check in at the end of class. So I'm glad you're here. So once you make yourself comfortable and you bring your hands to wherever they're comfortable, if you can close your eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, let them rest on the floor in front of you. And allow your attention to come into your body so that you begin to sense your body from within. And for me, I usually start with my feet. I feel my feet on the floor. And sometimes I can feel the coolness of the floor, or sometimes I can feel my shoes around my feet. So just check in with those things that your body actually feels. I can feel my seat on my chair. I can feel the warmth of my hands on my legs. Maybe you have a sense of places in your body where you feel you're holding tension. So very often for me, that's around my shoulders or around my jaw. Sometimes even in my belly. And sometimes just having an awareness of that tension helps me to soften. And then other times I need to take a big breath to allow some of that tension to release. And bring your attention more to your breath and your natural flow of your breathing. See if you can relax your belly So as you're breathing, your belly is really expanding and your lungs have plenty of room to go down and forward and back and to the sides. And see if you can have a sense of the energy or your breath moving through your body, through your legs, through your torso, through your arms. And let's take some nice big breaths. So take a deep breath, inhale, and let it out. And do that a few more times in your own time. Maybe 5 more big breaths. And letting it go. Paying attention to your belly, letting it really expand like a big balloon. Even think about your back expanding. Maybe just one more big breath. And now we're going to take a big breath and try to hold it. So take a big breath in and hold it at the top. And then let it out. Let's do that one more time. Take a big breath in and hold it. And let it out. Let your normal breathing return. Give yourself a moment to just see now what you notice in your body. If you notice any changes. And allow your head to drop forward, chin down to your chest. Let your eyes open and let the light come in and see how that feels. How your eyes are a big door to changing the energy that you feel through your body. And just take a moment there and look around you, look to the sides, look up, as if you're looking around your space with new eyes. And notice little details, the grain of wood, the color of the paint, the light that's coming through the windows. Allow your eyes to open wide and take this in. And bring your head back into the center when you're ready. Let your arms drop down. And we're going to bring our hands up to touch our shoulders, fingers touching your shoulders. Good. And we're just going to draw some circles with our elbows. They don't have to be super big. We're just thinking about kind of waking up our body. It doesn't have to be fast either. And feel that opening through your body. Sometimes my body's thanking me. Sometimes my body's groaning with a bit of discomfort. So just try to accept what your body's telling you and move within your limits. And then go the other direction with your circles. And move as if you're moving with a big yawn. Oh, in a way that feels good for you. And let your arms drop down. Bring your hands, open them wide and close them up tight. Open them up wide and close them tight. And notice how it is just your hands, but it's also the muscles in your forearms, the muscles in your upper arms. And enjoy that feeling, almost like you're moving your hands through clay or something. And let's make it a little bit bigger. So let's open our hands wide and our arms. So we're getting this first stretch through the arms, and then close your hands, close your arms, and bring everything in tight. And do that again. Open up everything like your body's stretchy. Stretch your body out wide, and then close your hands and squeeze your body as if you're trying to squeeze the last bit of juice out of your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And open. Let's just do it one more time. Opening wide. If you feel like yawning, go for it. And then closing, squeezing your fists, closing up nice and tight. And let's shake. Shake our hands. That's it, shake. In every way you can shake your hands imaginable. And then get your chicken wings involved. Shake, shake, shake those elbows. Maybe your shoulders start to get a bit involved. Let your breath feel like you're letting a bit out. And then bring your hands together. Give them a bit of a rub. In between your fingers, tops of your hands, your arms. So this can be a vigorous rub, but also be kind to yourself. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. So I'm enjoying, because it's a bit cold in here, I'm enjoying kind of a strong rub. But maybe someone else wants to be a bit more gentle and caring with their skin. Great. And let's then just move our elbows back and move our elbows forward. Very gentle. So you feel your chest opening and chest closing. Elbows back, elbows forward, elbows back, elbows forward. Yeah, let's open that up a bit now. Arms back and arms forward. Arms back, arms forward. Let's do that with our head. Arms back and head up. Arms forward and head down. Just once more like that. Arms back and head up. Arms forward and head down. Great. Bring your arms all the way back down. We're going to do a little bit now with our spine. So if you can, come away from your chair a bit, but make sure you're steady and the chair is not going to fall over. Feet are flat down in front of you so you feel stable. Hands can rest down onto your lap. And we're going to lean forward and lean back. A lot of you know this already. Take it nice and gentle. Lean forward and lean back. And as you're doing this, you might feel a stretch in your back muscles, and you might feel your abdominal muscles working a little bit. So we're going to do it just one more time, and then we're going to add on. Now we're going to lean forward and look up. And lean back and look down. Lean forward, arch your back, and look up. Lean back, round your back, and look down. Forward, arch, up. Back, round, down. Twice more. Find your breath. Use your breath to help you. Forward, arch, up. Keep breathing. Back, round, down. Once more. Forward, arch, up. Back, round, down. Great. Come all the way up to sit. We're going to stretch one leg out in front of us. So we're just going to stretch our leg out in front of us. The other foot stays flat. One leg out in front of us and pull the toes back towards you. Sit up straight if you can. So we're starting to kind of use our core muscles a little bit to help us sit upright. So flex and then point through your toes. Pull your toes back, push your toes forward. So you're pushing your heel and then you're pushing your toes. Push through your heel and push through your toes. Once more, heel and toes. Change leg. Heel and toes. And heel and toes. A few more times. Keep breathing. And toes. And toes. Last one. And heel and toes. Great. Come all the way back in. Now we're gonna lift one leg up, but try not to lean back. So we're just gonna stay where we are and lifting up, and it doesn't have to come up super high, but lift it up a bit and down. So we're engaging our hip flexor muscles and lifting up, like marching while sitting, lifting up, and it doesn't have to come up high. If you find it hard to get your foot off the ground, just lift your heels. But try as much as you can to keep your body where it is so that you're not going back and forth with your body, or as little as possible. So you really feel the thighs and the hip flexors starting to work. We're going to do this a few more times. And if you want to add on and make it a little bit more challenging, you can bring your head and your body forward to the knee. So you're bringing your body forward. That's it. Or you can just say straight up. We're going to do 4 more. 4. Keep breathing. Try not to hold your breath. 3 and 2 and 1. Come sitting up nice and tall. Stretch one leg out. Flex it again. And this time we're going to make circles. You can either keep your heel on the floor to make the circles, or you can lift it up. And make about 5 in one direction, and then 5 in the other direction. Very good. And then change legs and either make the circles with the heel on the floor, or you can lift the heel up. And 5 in the one direction, and then 5 in the other direction. Great. And bring both legs back in. Perfect. So we're going to do some standing now. Standing to sit. Yeah, so that we kind of get our legs working a little bit. If you find that you're not able to kind of do a lot of standing today, then leave it out or do less or do it slower. I'm going to do 15 stand and sits. Make sure the chair is underneath you and it doesn't slip away. Be careful, okay? I'm going to bring my hands like this so that I'm not going to use them. If you want to use them on the chair to come up and sit down, then use them on the chair. Start where you're safe and challenge yourself where you feel able. Don't go straight to a challenge and then that you don't feel you're ready for. Be gentle with yourself, okay? Here we go. So we're standing up and sitting down. And I'm gonna do 15. You can do it at my pace, you can do it at your pace. I think I'm on 4. And 5. Well done, everyone. 6 and 7. 8 and 9. Very good. 10. Take a break if you need it. 5 more. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. If you can stay up, come up to stand and stay up. Very good. And let your arms drop. If you need a break, sit down, sit down. Let your arms come down. Very good. Great. So we're just going to bring our arms all the way up and take a nice big breath. And bring your arms all the way down. As your arms come down, bend your knees. Great. So just straighten your legs for a minute and just stand there and just take a moment. So we're going to do a few big breaths like that with our arms and bending our knees. What can happen to people, it happens to me even sometimes, is with taking big breaths, I get a bit lightheaded. So if that happens, don't take as big of breaths. You can still do your arms without taking the big breaths, or you can sit down and take a moment. Okay, so please be careful with yourself. So we're going to bring our arms up, and I'm going to take a big breath in and bend my knees. And I'm going to do this a few more times, just like that, like a big bird breathing with my arms. You can also make your arms smaller if you need to. Exactly, like you're lifting off and you're landing. And I'm going to do 2 more like this. And I'm going to do 1 more. And then you can just let your arms come down, let your arms float down. Very good. So if we can now, can we come behind our chair so that we've got the chair in front of us if we need it, but we've stepped behind the chair, so we're facing it. Great. So I'm going to start with my legs standing underneath me, and the chair's in front of me, and I have my hands gently resting on the chair, so I'm not leaning on it. It's just there for a bit of balance. I'm going to reach one leg back behind me so that I feel and put my foot flat. And then I'm going to bend my front knee. So I'm getting a stretch in my back calf. And I'm just going to breathe there and feel that stretch. And then I'm going to straighten my leg a little bit and bend it again. And I'm just going to do that a few more times. Both feet are flat. So hopefully what you should be feeling is each time you bend your knee, that back calf, the back lower leg stretches a little bit. If your feet, maybe you can see there, my heel is straight back. If my foot is turned out behind me, I won't really feel it. So my heels need to be pointing back in order to feel that. Just to get a bit of a stretch in our calves. Some people are walking a lot these days, and I noticed when I do a big long walk, my calves get very tight. And then let's change legs. So both heels pointing backwards. Use the chair in front of you for a little bit of balance. Careful, don't lean too much on it. And start to bend the front leg. And as you bend the front leg, push down with that heel till you feel the stretch. And do that a few times. So it's like you're stretching into that back leg, and then you release it a little bit. There's a window coming up saying my internet connection's unstable. So apologies for that. I've been trying to fix it all morning. But just kind of keep going with whatever you see me doing, and then I should kind of be glitching back into activity. Great. And let's bring both feet back together. Good. So now we're going to step a little bit away from the chair so that we can't quite touch it. Good. And I'm going to keep my weight on my feet. So I'm not going to come forward onto my toes as I do this. I'm going to stick my hips back so as I bend over, but I'm going to feel my heels on the floor. I don't want you to come forward onto your toes all the way so your heels lift. So stick your hips back to lean forward and bring your hands onto the chair. Don't push the chair down. Think about gently pushing the chair a little bit away from you, just a little bit so that you're not pushing it down. And your hips are going back as you're bending forward. So you get a stretch in the back of your legs. You can bend your knees a little bit as you lean forward. Don't push the chair down. Think about pushing the chair forward a little bit. If you want to let your head relax, you can. Take a couple of breaths there. Nice big breaths into your back. And then bend your knees. Look up at the chair. Step into the chair, and then come up. So that's a good one. We might do that one more time. If anyone's got any back problems and that's not working for you, then skip it. But we're going to do it just one more time because I think it's a nice one in the morning if you don't have any things that it's triggering. So step away from the chair and then stick your hips back. You can unlock your knees a bit, reach forward for the chair. As you push your hips back, push the chair forward just a tiny bit. The chair doesn't move, but just so that you feel that the chair, that you're gently pushing on it front forward. And you might find the second time around that your body's a little bit more willing to go into the stretch. You can let your head go. Inhale and exhale. And then bend your knees, look forward at the chair, and step in. Very good. Come all the way up. Perfect. Okay. So let's come back now. So actually, no, let's stay behind the chair. Sorry, don't move. I see everyone moving. Sorry, stay behind the chair. I'm just gonna move my chair in front of me. Great. And I'm gonna bring my right hand onto the chair. My right hand onto the chair. Yeah, and I'm behind the chair now. And my right foot is going to stay where it is. My left foot is going to step back. Not a lot, just a bit. So my right foot is where it started, my right hand is on the chair, and my left foot steps back. If right and left mix you up like it does me sometimes, same hand and same leg towards the chair. Then I'm going to bend my right knee, or the one that's forward. I'm going to bend that right knee, and I'm going to straighten it. And I'm just going to do that a couple of times. Keep my knee is pointing at the chair, bending and straightening. Very little weight on the chair, very little weight on it, so that you could even test your balance sometimes. And then we're going to stop with the knee bent. You might find you can open that leg a little bit further back, that's fine. And we're going to take the other arm up, out, and overhead. So we get a nice big stretch here. Keep that knee bending. Take a big breath in and out. Very good. And feel that stretch to your side. Yep, that's it. Perfect. And then let your arm come down. Take your time to step in and switch. Switch legs. So my left hand is on the chair. My left foot stays where it is, and my right foot comes back. And we start with just the bending. Just the bending. Bend the knee and straighten it. So what we want is we want these thigh muscles to start working for us. They're big stabilizing muscles. So we want them to kind of fire up and turn on and start working more to help us find our balance. And we'll just do it one more time, the bending. Very good. And then we're going to stay there. Keep that knee bent. Then the other arm, again, make sure not to push the chair down. You always want to think just gently about pushing the chair away from you. The other arm comes up. And find that nice big stretch. And breathe there. And then come all the way back together. Great, we're going to do that one more time on each side. If that's enough for you and you want to sit the second round out, do what suits. Right hand, right foot towards the chair. Left leg back. And we're just going to do this 3 times. Bending 1. And you might find you get a little deeper now since these thighs are kind of have done this already once. 2 and 3. And then we're going to bend. Gently think about the chair pushing forward and the arm comes up. That's it. We're going to take 2 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more and exhale. All the way up. Take your time. Switch legs. Left leg forward, left hand forward, right leg back. And we're going to bend. Bend the left knee 1 and 2 and 3. And then bend and stay. Reach the other arm all the way up for a big stretch. And now we take 2 breaths here if you can. Inhale and exhale. 1 more and exhale. And then come all the way back up onto 2 feet. Very good. How are we all doing? Good? Great, great, very good. Okay, let's do a little bit of balance and then we'll sit back on the chair again. So again, we're behind our chairs and we're going to bring both feet together so you can see my feet are actually touching each other so that we're not going to keep them apart. We're going to keep them actually touching each other. Good. And again, light touch on the chair. Be careful not to push it down with this one, okay? And we're just going to lift our heels. We're just going to lift our heels up and place them back down. Lifting them up and placing them down. Good. And as you're doing this, Try not to do big sways, almost like you're trying to keep it a secret. Really small. Use all those little balancing muscles in your body. So you're trying to keep your legs together, very quietly come up and quietly come down. And then let's come up onto our toes and stay there. You might stay there for a moment, you might stay there for ages. Just try and find your balance. And maybe you can take one hand or the other hand off. Maybe you can take two. And then slowly, quietly come down. Good. And bend your knees. Let's bend them a couple of times to stretch out the calves. Great. Great. We're going to open our legs wide enough, so they're about as wide as the chair. And you're going to bring your hands up onto the side of your head. Yeah, standing nice and tall. And we're going to bring one elbow down. Just think about bringing the elbow down so that you feel that side of your body getting smaller and contracting. And then come back up. And do it to the other side. One elbow down. Really thinking, we're just thinking about our waist. Now our sides. Come back up. One elbow down. Squeeze that side. It gets shorter. And come up. One elbow down. And come up. Once more each side. Really enjoy that squeezing of the muscles. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And come up. And squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And come up. Let your arms come down. Give them a little bit of a shake. Bend your knees. Shake it out for a moment. Good. We're going to do that again. But we're going to think about it slightly differently. We're going to add on. So come back up here. We're going to bring one elbow down, just like we did, where you feel it squeezing. But the other elbow is also going to reach up. So that side gets longer. One side squeezes, one side lengthens. And come back up. And do that on the other side. One side gets short, one side gets long. And come up. And keep finding that a few more times in your own time. One side gets short, one side gets long. Keep breathing. Take your time. Always make sure to come back into the center and then go to the other side. So you're not just kind of swapping from one side to the other, but you're giving yourself a moment in the center and then go to the other side. Great. Let's just do once more on each side. I know it gets a lot on the shoulders. Yeah. Sorry. You can, we'll give our shoulders a break after this. Very good. And then drop them down. Great. So now we've got our legs nice and wide. You can keep your chair in front of you. I'm just moving mine out of the way so you can see me better. We're going to keep our legs nice and wide apart, and we're going to circle our hips. You can bring your hands onto your waist. You can let your hands drop. But we're just going to give our hips a big circle. So sometimes it's hard to find just your hips. Sometimes your upper body wants to do it without your hips. So take your time to find your hips so that you're getting a circle, because it's giving some nice movement into our hip joints to kind of open up any locking or tension in our hip joints. So we really want to get that rounding, that roundy round movement through the legs, the upper legs and the hips. Great, and let's go the other way. And let's do 4 more, 3 and 2 and 1. Belly dancers get to have all the fun. Bring your legs in, right next to each other. Yep. And now we're going to keep our hands here. And if you need the chair, it's there in front of you. Good. We're going to bend our knees. Keep your knees bent. And this time we're going to bring our arms out to the side and up. So we're going to stretch our arms up and bend your knees. So feel that your upper body's getting longer and your lower body's going down. And then come all the way back to stand. Good. So let's do that opposite now. So we're going to reach our arms up and reach up as if you want to touch the ceiling. Stretch your body longer, longer, longer. Don't worry about how you're doing it. Just try and reach up, up, up. Keep breathing though. Now, as you're reaching up, keep reaching up and bend your knees, but keep reaching through your arms. Keep breathing, and then come back to stand. Now, we've gained about 2 centimeters through our spine, maybe. Open your legs so they're back wider, a little bit apart, just comfortably. We're gonna open our arms out to the sides, wiggle your fingers. Wiggle, wiggle your fingers as if you're trying to get them more spread apart. And then open your arms back behind you like you're about to give someone, you're winding up to give someone the biggest hug you could ever give them. God, I wish, wouldn't that be nice? And then wrap your arms around and give yourself that big hug. That's it. And then elbows are going to go from side to side. And let your elbows go one way and your head goes the other. Elbows one way, head the other. And keep breathing. Good. Come back to center. Notice which arm you have on top. We're going to switch. So open up, wind up for that big hug again. Wiggle your fingers, stretch wide, and then give yourself that big hug again. But switch the arm that's on top. Very good. Elbows one way, head the other. And don't worry too much about this. If this is your first time doing it, doing opposites is always difficult. So take your time for your body to figure this out. Elbows one way, head the other. Great. Come back into center. Open your arms out now just to let everything kind of open back out. Yeah, sorry, my connection went there again. Sorry about that. And bring your arms down and come back sitting on your chair. Excuse me for just one moment. I'm just going to blow my nose quickly. Great. Thank you for being patient. So let's come back sitting down comfortably. Good. So let's open our feet now so that our legs are a little bit wider apart and our feet are still flat on the ground. Feet are still flat. So we're going to bring one hand onto one leg and the other arm is going to lift up towards the ceiling. That's it. And then come all the way back to center and change. And think now, this time you're thinking about stretching long through that side and come back. And you can even look up, take your time, enjoy the stretch and come back and keep breathing as you're stretching. Breathe and come back. Once more each side. Inhale and come back. Very good. Last one. And coming back. Very good. Now we're going to go to our legs. Stretch one leg out. We're going to take the arm, whichever leg is straightened, we're going to slide that same arm down the leg. So we're kind of reaching down, sliding down the leg. And the other arm comes up, just like we did, but now with the leg straight. And you can look up if that feels good. And then come back in and bend the leg. Switch legs. Straighten one leg, slide down that leg, and reach up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come back in once more each side. Bring the leg in, straighten the other leg out, slide down, and come up. Come back up to center. And last one, straighten the leg, slide down, and come up. Reaching up through that arm. Very good. Bring both legs in. Keep them wide apart. Bring both legs back to bending, but keep the knees wide apart. We're just going to come up to our hips a little bit. So bring your knees in to touch each other, but your feet are wide. That's it. And open the knees out. So we're getting into our hips. Just do this a little bit. Open and close through the knees, opening and closing through your hips. Just once more. And then we're going to go side to side. So try not to move your body too much, just the knees, so that you feel where that stretch is. And it might not be very big. That's okay. You want to stretch just for your own hips. One in, one out. Good. And now bring your legs, actually keep your legs out just for one more. Keep your legs out to the sides. And now we're going to bring our forearm down onto our thigh if we can. I'm going to sweep this arm all the way up, and if you can, a bit over your head. Exactly. Exactly. And then come all the way up. Keep breathing. Try and find your breath. Up and over your head. Breathe. Take a nice big inhale. And come all the way up. One last one. On each side. Take your time. Take a big breath. Last one. And come all the way up. Bring your legs in back together. So hopefully we feel nice and long through our sides now. Just take a moment, sit with your hands down. Take a moment, close your eyes. Check back in with your body. Great, let your eyes open. So we're gonna look over one shoulder. Look over the shoulder. So I'm looking over my right shoulder and I'm reaching back for the chair on the right side. So I'm twisting and looking over that right side. My other hand is going to come across on my opposite leg. And I'm going to stay there in this twist and breathe. Looking over, twisting over to my right. And then I'm going to change. I'm going to look over to my left. Hold on to the chair, the bottom of the chair or the back of the chair. Keep twisting, look over your left. The other hand comes onto your opposite leg. Inhale and exhale. Come back around, let's do that again. Look over the right, twist over to the right. This time, maybe see if you can kind of gently grab your stomach muscles, as if you're pulling your stomach muscles in. And you might feel like you're twisting then from way down deep in your abdomen. Inhale and exhale. And then change, look over to the left. See again about grabbing through your stomach muscles and see if you can get that twist from way down low in your lower abdominals. Let's do it once more each side for good luck. Twist, look over the right. And we want to keep our hips as steady as possible. So try not to shift in the chair. Just as if it's starting, it's your upper body in the twist. And one last time to the left. Great, and then come all the way back, facing center. Bring your arms all the way up. Take a big breath in, stretching, stretch nice and long. Inhale and exhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Feel your torso stretching, your back stretching, and then come all the way back down. Let your hands rest onto your legs. Close your eyes or let your eyes drop down onto the floor. And let your attention come in. So think that right now, instead of maybe looking through your body, you're listening to your body. You're feeling and sensing your breathing. You're letting go of any tension that you might feel in your jaw or around your eyes. Let's take a nice deep breath again, coming back to this feeling of expanding our belly. And let it out. Let's take a big, slow breath. And slowly let it out. Let's do that 3 more times. Slowly breathe in. And slowly breathe out. Twice more. Slowly breathe in. And slowly breathe out. One more time. Slowly breathe in. And slowly breathe out. Let your natural breathing rhythm return. Listen to your body. Listen to your whole being. Maybe have a sense of the sounds around you. Let your chin come down to your chest. Open your eyes and let all the light come into your body. Let your eyes take it in. Let your head come back up. Take your time to come back into the space around you. Be gentle with yourself.